Who will handle the housework? A tedious chore, but ignoring it spells trouble. Decoding the invisible burden creating undercurrents in families. Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both timeless and perpetually hot in every household: housework. We all know that chores are an essential part of maintaining a home. But fairly dividing these tasks is an art form in itself, one that can sometimes spark more than a few arguments. So, how can we transform housework from a burden into a bond that strengthens love and connection? Before we dig into the details, let's outline the key points we'll cover today. First, we'll acknowledge the reality that housework is a shared responsibility for both partners. Not just one person's job. Fair and reasonable division of chores is the key to preserving happiness and harmony in the family. Alright, let's get started. Who's taking care of the housework? Do you agree that marriage is a journey of love and sharing, where we have a partner to build a home together? Yet, it's interesting how rarely we thank our spouse for doing chores. Isn't it? Housework is repetitive, day in and day out. And let's be honest, it can be downright boring. But no matter how tedious it is, we can't ignore it, because chores don't just magically disappear, do they? That's why it's crucial to take the time to discuss and agree on household responsibilities. Don't underestimate these so-called small tasks, as the way we share them significantly impacts how we understand and empathize with each other. If not handled thoughtfully, these seemingly minor duties can quietly create cracks in a relationship, potentially becoming the spark for bigger conflicts in a marriage. A common reality is that, despite both partners recognizing the necessity of housework, the wife or mother is often assumed to be the primary person in charge. Sometimes, both men and women tacitly accept this. In many households, chores are automatically seen as women's duties, while for husbands, it's often a "do it if I feel like it" situation. When a husband does pitch in, he might view it as helping his wife or being a good husband, rather than seeing it as his own responsibility. Some even expect recognition or praise for their efforts, treating it as a bargaining chip in other aspects of married life. Why does the burden of housework often fall on women? Let's explore why women tend to shoulder more housework. It's true that many fathers today are more willing to share chores than in the past. But true balance remains a work in progress. The responsibility of managing the household, both big and small tasks, still largely falls on mothers, even when they work full-time and contribute financially just as much as fathers. Studies even show that mothers may handle 3 times the housework of fathers, a ratio that barely shifts whether the mother works full-time or not, or even if the father is at home. This imbalance partly stems from deep-rooted stereotypes and lessons we learn from childhood. Many of us grow up with the idea that girls should be nurturing and take care of the home, while boys focus on big responsibilities like earning money. These ingrained beliefs shape how we view and justify things. For example, a father who sees himself as the breadwinner might believe cooking or cleaning isn't his job. Some even think that doing chores deserves compensation, even if their wife also works and may earn more. Of course, these role divisions often benefit men, but women sometimes unintentionally reinforce these norms. Many mothers take charge of housework because they see it as their domain, or a way to prove their worth as a devoted wife and mother, expressing love and care for their family. There's also a societal notion that a home's tidiness reflects the woman's competence. So mothers often hold themselves to higher standards for cleanliness and order. Sometimes, they feel their husbands aren't skilled or detail-oriented enough, so they'd rather do it themselves to get it done right. The workload of chores can become a major source of marital tension. The core issue often lies in perceptions of fairness. Interestingly, fathers and mothers define fairness differently. Fathers tend to look at the big picture, factoring in everything they contribute to the family, like work, time with kids, or obligatory social engagements. After tallying it all up, they assess how much time and energy they have left for chores. Mothers, however, focus on the specific housework that needs doing, regardless of their other responsibilities. They look at the total chores for both spouses and evaluate whether each is doing their fair share. Housework and the hidden tensions in marriage. So, how does the division of housework impact married life? Clearly, fathers and mothers have different views on fairness. Surprisingly, most fathers feel it's unfair to split chores 50-50, whether their wife works or not. Conversely, mothers typically only feel unfairly treated when they're doing nearly all the work. This reveals an unspoken assumption, among both men and women, that a fair split means the wife does about 2/3 of the chores and the husband 1/3. This might seem reasonable if the mother is a stay-at-home parent. But it's deeply unfair if she works full-time and shares the same financial burdens as her husband. Imagine two men sharing a room with similar jobs. Would anyone assume one should do more chores than the other? These perceptions quietly reinforce the idea that, despite societal changes, housework is still largely seen as women's work. Beyond workload, the type of chores assigned can also cause issues. Many fathers only consider certain tasks, like fixing things or yard work, suitable for them, as these reinforce masculinity. Meanwhile, cooking, cleaning, or laundry are often left to mothers. There's a funny anecdote. A husband proudly claimed he helped with chores. But when asked if he cleaned the bathroom, specifically the toilet, he said, "No way." To him, that task clashed with what a man should do. While fathers may avoid certain chores, women rarely apply the same standards to define their identity through housework. They simply do what needs to be done. These views on fairness tie into how couples expect to be treated. Housework isn't just physical labor, like every aspect of marriage. It's loaded with emotions. It involves expectations, self-image, roles, support, fairness, and sometimes feelings of being taken advantage of or undervalued. These emotional aspects can deeply wound a relationship. Many mothers see a husband's help with chores as a sign of love and gratitude. When shared, they feel valued and understood. But when mothers bear too much alone, they may feel exploited or disrespected, leading to dissatisfaction or resentment in the marriage. For working mothers, balancing job and home can be overwhelming, causing exhaustion and low morale. Women also compare their husbands to others. If their spouse matches or exceeds what other husbands do, they feel supported. But if they feel unfairly burdened compared to peers, they may believe they're sacrificing too much for the marriage. Simply put, when both parents share housework, their bond strengthens. But when the division feels unfair, it can seriously harm the relationship. While chores may not directly cause divorce, they can act as a slow-burning catalyst, eroding the marriage. Negative feelings about any part of shared life, including housework, can spill over, fostering frustration and affecting how partners treat each other daily. Conclusion. So there you have it. Friends, housework may seem small, but it's far from trivial. It's not just about keeping the house clean, it's a measure of understanding, sharing, and mutual respect in a marriage. We hope today's discussion offers fresh perspectives to help build a truly happy home, where chores become a shared joy rather than a burden. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.